Hello and welcome into another episode of Popcorn for Breakfast. We have an all-new, very packed show for you today. We're going to be reviewing the film Tom and Jerry, which is available in theaters and on HBO Max if you are a subscriber. We're going to get you all caught up on what's popping, including Golden Globes recap, a new Superman movie, some Disney news. We got lots of stuff to talk through there. And then, in honor of Tom and Jerry, we are going to play a game called Cat and Mouse. So let's get to it. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Popcorn for Breakfast with your co-host, Kirk.
Hello, hello.
I am your other co-host, Cam, and joining us for the very first time on PFB, we've got a new face. That's Brandon up there in your right-hand corner. What's going on, Brandon?
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me.
Of course. So we will get to a lot of things this episode. Like I said in the open, we're going to be reviewing Tom and Jerry. We are going to talk through the Golden Globes, which were not even a week ago. Oh my gosh. That feels like an eternity ago. That feels like eons ago. We're going to talk about the Golden Globes. We're going to talk about this new Superman movie, which I know Kirk is fired up, ready to go. Oh my gosh. He's wearing a Superman shirt. Yeah, he's ready. So we'll talk about that. We got a lot of exciting stuff, but let's first talk about our format here. Can we talk about it? So we got some big changes coming to the PFB landscape. First of all, we've added Brandon, who's going to be helping us out with some video. He's going to be helping us out during our broadcast, joining us. He's going to be doing some production, all kinds of stuff, and hopefully spinning up his own podcast someday. I don't know. We don't want to get greedy. We don't want to get greedy with Brandon's time, but we are excited to have Brandon. And we have a lot of exciting things. So stay tuned to us on social media this week because we're going to be dropping all kinds of new deets. If you happen to find this broadcast on Twitch, we're actually streaming live on Twitch. This is our very first time doing it, so we didn't really advertise it, but we are doing it. So how do you guys feel being live?
You know, it's a little terrifying. However, we've been doing this for almost a year and a half, or actually a year and a half, going on 2 years.
Yeah.
And very rarely do we have to, I'm going to jinx ourselves now, very rarely do we have to stop and then restart. So it's a good enough format for us because we're professionals. So we're excited to see everyone who joins us here.
Yes. I feel fantastic. I saw you guys had about 60-something episodes under your belt already. That's right. Amazing. That's fantastic. I remember whenever we started our podcast, I think we maybe got to episode 10 and kind of fizzled out. So 60 is amazing.
Well, we appreciate it. I think by the time we hit episode 1000, we might actually be good. I don't know. Fingers crossed. We might actually be making some good content. So Brandon, let's intro Brandon a little bit. Brandon, we're bringing you into the fold. We've known you for a while. Used to work together.
Yes, sir.
And we've been wanting to work with you for a really long time. So let's chat. What do the people need to know? What do the people need to know about you?
Oh,
you're a Dragon Ball Z fan. That's what I think is probably most important.
Yes,
I mean, let's start
Dragon
there.
Ball Z. That was lifelong Dragon Ball Z fan since Little Tykes. I mean, you guys remember? I'm sure coming home from school at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and Toonami's on, and you get 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and then followed before that, you got like Sailor Moon and all those good shows.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah,
maybe some Gundam up in there. Oh man,
Gundam Wing. Oh yeah. Amazing. Good old days. Oh yeah, good old days of Toonami. But no, I mean, I have a little background and some video production. You know, we've ran through a podcast before. It was pretty much strictly Game of Thrones reference, but I mean, popcorn for breakfast. You guys got it.
Well, we talk about all kinds of things. We talk about movies. We talk about TV. We're going to be talking about all kinds of other stuff. And we're just looking to grow this thing, turn it into something. So
Absolutely.
We are stoked to have you on board, and we have tons of exciting things planned. In fact, this is just the very beginning of what we're going to be doing. Even this month, we're going to be doing all kinds of new things that we will unveil throughout the week. What a time to be alive, guys! I'm telling you, it's exciting. Great. Did you know that Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak are releasing an album together? I'm like, what is this?
Dude, the single dropped like either overnight the other night, but I was like brushing my teeth and it popped up on my phone and I was like, yes.
It's so good.
Go.
What's it called?
It's called Silk Sonic. Oh, you haven't heard of this, Brandon?
I have not.
Dude, this is certain to change the world as we know it. I mean, it's the first really good sign that's like that 2021 is off to a hot start because
I feel like Bruno Mars went and hid in a hole for the pandemic.
Maybe he was just making this.
He can't risk those vocal cords and that breath support that he's got, so he had to go hide from the COVID. So it's smooth, man. It is good.
I tell you what, I haven't thought of Bruno Mars in probably at least a year. I mean, it's crazy.
I think he does that by design. I think he does it by design. I think he like intentionally goes into hiding. Like maybe he finds a way to make sure people aren't mentioning him on social media. So then when he comes back, people are like, "Oh my gosh, Bruno Mars, so great." So we got that going for us. I got new mic. Who dis? We got a new mic here, so I'm pretty excited about that. And we've got good movies to review. We have lots of movies to review. I just started Raya and the Last Dragon, which is available in theaters and on Disney Plus. We watched Tom and Jerry. Kirk, we just did episodes back to back of Nomadland and Judas and the Black Messiah, both of which were very good. And we're in the midst of awards season, so we got a lot going on.
So many things. One thing before I forget that I want to add about Brandon is that Brandon and I share a birthday.
Is that true?
I forgot about that. Yeah,
dude, we have to record. No, you guys aren't going to want to record on your birthday, but we need to do something to commemorate the occasion.
Yeah, there will be some sort of fantastic Photoshop graphic. I'm sure you can come up with, Cam, as you have in the past.
Yeah, I mean, my terrible Photoshop skills can be put to the test yet again.
I mean, you saw my Golden Globes, one of us standing on stage.
That was good though. Like that was pretty good, I felt like.
All right.
Especially since you're copping the iPad edition of Photoshop. I was like pretty impressed.
I got my Apple Pencil and my iPad.
Isn't that pretty tough to do on iPad?
Yes.
I just got the iPad Air, right? And it's awesome. The Apple Pen is awesome. I love it, but it's difficult to. I think having the paper material helps with drawing correct circles and all that good stuff. It's tough to actually draw on iPads.
It is.
It's tough to do anything in Photoshop on iPad. I don't know how you do anything, Kirk. I have pretty much figured out my way around Photoshop on the desktop, and then I tried to do iPad, and I felt like I was in a different world altogether.
It does not compute. It does not translate at all. It takes probably. So I don't have as much experience with Photoshop as either of you probably. So if it takes Cameron 15 minutes to do it on his computer, it probably takes me an hour and a half to do it on my iPad.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably take me even longer on the iPad. It's bad. It's bad news. There's been a couple times where I've been like, oh crap, breaking news, and I have to try to throw something together on the iPad. It's a disaster. I usually just get mad and stop. So
yes.
Yeah, I mostly use mine for news stories and just reading.
Yes. That's basically all that's there for. Maybe like streaming some stuff. I don't know. That's pretty much it. So we've got a game at the end of the show too. We're gonna play cat and mouse. I want to prime you guys for this game because we're gonna do what's poppin', which is our news. We're gonna do the Tom and Jerry review, and then we're gonna play a game based on Tom and Jerry that actually I came up with. I took Kirk's Game Master hat and I placed it on my head. It fit better than I was expecting actually, and. So the way this game works, so you guys can be prepared for this, there are lots of hero-villain pairs in all of history. It doesn't have to just be movies, just in general, hero-villain pairs. So what we need to do is give each other one half of the pair. That'll be like either the cat or the mouse, and then the other person needs to come up with it. Here's an example. Dudley Do-Right. He would be the mouse. Who's the cat? Anybody a Dudley Do-Right fan? Nobody? Am I the only person on the planet who's seen this show? Well, Snidely Whiplash. He's the one with the handlebar mustache. But anyway, that's how it would go. So we won't use Dudley Do-Right because that gone. There was a terrible Dudley Do-Right live action movie. I think it was Was it Brendan Fraser? No.
He was Dudley.
He was, right?
Yes, he was.
Hold on, I'm looking this up.
Who was the villain? Oh. I want to say Jim Carrey, but there's no way he was the Sonic villain and that one.
No, it wasn't Jim Carrey. It was here we go. It is Brendan Fraser. Yeah. And
Sarah Jessica Parker was in there. She was not the villain.
Is this Alfred Molina? No.
No, he was Snidely.
Alfred Molina was Snidely, right?
Who is the prospector, the villain?
No, the Snidely Whiplash is the villain.
Oh, so it was Alfred Molina.
Dude, that cast. Can we talk about that cast? That's amazing. That's like one of the best things I've ever heard. And that movie's just abysmal. What does it have? I'm guessing it has to be sub 30s on Rotten Tomatoes.
44 Metascore.
It's got a 3.9 out of 10.
Yes, it does.
On IMDb.
Okay, not off to a good start. Hold on, we're improvising here. Let's see. Sarah Jessica Parker was in that movie.
Yes, she was. I mean, that's a snapshot of the 90s right there.
16% on Rotten Tomatoes, guys.
Now, can you give me a premise of this movie? I know zero things about Dudley Do-Right. Can you give me a quick laydown?
No, I can't really. I mean, he's a Mountie. He's a Canadian folk hero, basically. He's Canadian mounted police, and his sidekick is his horse, obviously, because that's the laziest way to go with that. Mm-hmm. And Snidely Whiplash is like the most stereotypical villain ever. He wears all black. He's got a cape. He's got a handlebar mustache. So that's really all you need to know. I mean, what more do you need in a movie, a show, a hero? It's just great. Good quality content.
Well, let's just get out of this Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's on me.
I'm done with it.
That's on me. I take that. I'll take that. All right, so let's move on. Can we move on to what's popping then? Can we pop it up? All right, let's pop it up.
God, I love the sound effects.
Do you like that?
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's sound effects courtesy of Zapsplat, which is a great. It's on no free ads, but here we go. Like, it is a free website. You just go on there. You log in and you can use their sounds. You just have to give them credit. So
I'd like to say I'm not beneath free ads at this point, and then they can become regular ads.
Yeah, we might get some free ads because I think we're going to share some YouTube videos later. So there might. You never know. It's first time streaming, and we might get wild a little bit. Let's talk about the Golden Globes. Kirk, I left you hanging on the Golden Globes social media, but you held it down. I pictured you, you know that Bruce Almighty gif where it's Jim Carrey and he's like typing super fast? That was you last Sunday night. I think that was actually you.
That is exactly what I was doing.
You made like 45 different Photoshop graphics just for like, congratulations so-and-so on your goal. It's ridiculous.
I did indeed. It was just rapid fire, just left and right, just kicking those out. And it was a faster format, right? Because no one accepted an award. Right. No one accepted an award in person. They had some presenters live, maybe all presenters live. I don't even remember anymore, but man, they were going so fast. So it's amazing that my fingers are still here.
Yeah. So pandemic Golden Globes looked like this. We had two live studios, one in New York and one in LA. And Kirk, correct me if I'm wrong about this. And then they had first responders as the guests in each of those. It was like really intimate. Like it looked like if you went to like open mic night at a local, like it was really small, but it was cool. Like those people got like up close and personal with some really big celebrities. So that was cool. Right. And then pretty much everyone who was a nominee was at home. And so they would like show them on the screen. And then if they gave an acceptance speech, they would just like kick it over to them. Kirk, there's your beautiful graphics.
There it is.
Oh, and there's one for me. That's so nice. But I want to talk about the Golden Globes and any surprises, any disappointments, anything, I don't know, any takeaways at all, other than Sean Penn's hair, which was my favorite thing ever in history. I loved it so much. I don't even know if it's a meme template, but I've made it into one that at least I will continue to use. And I don't even know if it's a meme. It's just like I will react to things with it. It could mean anything. It's like a trump card. Like it can mean anything. It's like wild and Uno.
I love that. I would say definitely Sasha Baron Cohen is going to be up there on my list because he won at least twice for Best Actor and for Best Comedy. That was huge. That was absolutely huge because he got a lot of backlash right before the most previous Golden Globes last year. He was up for nominees for a limited series called The Spy on Netflix, which I watched, and I loved it. Go watch it. It's really fun. And it was pretty shocking that he has been forgiven, apparently. So it's a pretty fun movie. You know, it's not like it's not everyone's cup of tea by any means, but it's fascinating.
Borat?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is always funny to like see Borat 2 like winning awards at award show. It's just I think it's hilarious. Like you couldn't script it better than that. Like it's beautiful, and his speeches were great too.
Wasn't he shunned from Kazakhstan for the first one, and then they like for the second one he got all this exposure, and everybody was like loving him from it just because he brought so much,
Yeah, like people knew him. It was totally different, but it was cool. He pulled it off too, and he was nominated for Trial of the Chicago 7 as well, which he was awesome in that movie. But he didn't take home the victory for that. That went to Mr. Daniel Kaluuya, who was insane in Judas and the Black Messiah. I think big surprises for me. Well, first of all, I was surprised in the first place that Da 5 Bloods and Judas and the Black Messiah didn't get nominated for Best Picture. And I was surprised by I don't know, just by like some of the wins. Like I was surprised by Jodie Foster winning. I was a little bit surprised by Rosamund Pike, even though she was awesome in I Care a Lot. And I don't know. I mean, I think overall my biggest disappointment with the Golden Globes was that it just wasn't fun to make fun of the Golden Globes this year. It felt like you were kicking them while they were down. And one of my favorite things every year is to laugh at the Golden Globes because I think they're so terrible. I think it's the worst award show ever, and I hate that we have to even talk about it. But I don't know. It was just like you can't kick somebody when they were down, and they were trying, and they like did a nice thing with the first responders. So it was like, man, I can't even make fun of the Golden Globes this year. So just not as fun.
I'm not gonna lie. I have never watched a Golden Globe.
No, you shouldn't. You
this
shouldn't.
one included. So yeah, I can clear the air here. Like I didn't see any of it.
Yeah. So last year, what I told everybody. What I told every single person was, somebody's commenting in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
So, hey, nice to see you. But one of the things that I thought was like, one of the things I did last year before the Globes, I was like, we are going to cover the Golden. I think I did this, Kirk. I was like, we're going to cover the Golden Globes. We're going to talk about it, but do not watch it. I recommended. I was like, everybody, don't trust me. Kirk and I will watch it. We will take that bullet for you. We will take it. If you're going to watch anything, watch our live stream during it, and that's it. Don't watch the act because the show itself is just awful. It's just
What was the best part? What was the best part of it for you guys?
For the Globes this year?
Yeah.
I would say the only shining moment of it was when Maya Rudolph and Kenan Thompson showed up and did a silly little skit. They announced them and I have it pulled up now. They announced them as the winner of the least original song. And first of all, Amy Poehler misspoke their fake category. So she said the least original song in a telefilm, dramedy, or comma, as in grammar. Instead of comedy. So that was great. And then they had these silly made up names, Beverly Jackfruit and Francois Jean Rudy, and they just went off on this random tangent. But that was really the only memorable thing.
Yeah.
Besides Sean Penn's hair, because at the Golden Globes they let the celebrities mingle more. They're on the floor, they're at tables, they let them drink, and things get wild and people just do crazy things. So there was no craziness to come about this time.
Yeah, I have one that you did not name though.
Oh.
The Jason Sudeikis acceptance speech for Ted Lasso was an all-timer because Jason Sudeikis is wearing a hoodie. Everybody else is dressed to the nines, which that's kind of funny in and of itself. It's very meta because the whole work from home thing, you get that mix sometimes on a meeting where everybody's dressed nice. And then like somebody's wearing a hoodie and you're like, oh, okay. But it was funny because he's Jason Sedakis. He had the Ted Lasso mustache. He was totally floored, did not appear to be expecting it at all. He was maybe under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Who knows?
Yes.
Usually the Golden Globes, like people are, then it's a given. But with this, I don't know. But he had no idea what to say. And so it was just like delightfully awkward and felt very real. And so I feel like that was the best part.
Yep.
Still not worth watching, though, at all. Still not worth watching at all.
Oh, man.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the Globes, and we'll never talk about it again because it's over and it's the worst. And I'm glad that it's over. But let's move on. Let's talk about Disney. Disney does this thing these days, guys. Have you noticed this? You don't get like sporadic Disney news. They drop it on you in buckets full. They're just like, here's the next dump of news stories. So here's what we got this time: release dates. Which release dates are always precarious, especially when you're talking about COVID times. But the good thing about these release dates is they're close and they're Disney Plus. So it's not one of these situations where it's like Black Widow in theaters May 5th or whatever, where you're like, yeah, that's not happening. It is like Disney Plus stuff that we know is coming up. So the first thing we got was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which we already know the release date is 3/19, right? That's a Friday, 3/19? Yeah, because this Friday was the 5th. So then the 12th, the 19th. We'll get Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 1. And then the Bad Batch. What was that?
It was my shield. I don't know what you're talking about.
What is that?
Oh, it's just my son's Captain America shield toy.
I bet you get more fun out of your kids' toys than they actually do, don't you? Because I do. I know I do.
I do indeed. This thing has like a propeller. It's like a one shot. That's what just flew off here. And I don't know where it flew off to, so I can't find it. But I had to do it. I brought several.
Oh, the propeller went. That's what that was. I saw something. I was like,
it was just a little circular thing that flew out. I have several toys here that I will surprise you throughout the episode.
Well, that's
today.
Great. That's great. I'm glad about that. So yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's coming on the 19th. So that's only less than 2 weeks away, guys. Less than 2 weeks away. Then on Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you. We're getting the highly anticipated spin-off of the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch. I know Brandon's fist pumping. He's a Clone Wars guy. How do you feel about the Bad Batch?
Oh, I love it. I can't wait. Star Wars, that's my thing. That's my jam. But just recently finished all of the Clone Wars, and if you haven't seen all of the animated series Clone Wars, you should. I mean, it fills in so many storylines. It fills in so many. I mean, it expands character arcs. It's fantastic, and it's fantastically done too. Animated, all the above. It's really great. So, I really enjoyed it, and I think the Bad Batch is just going to fill in that span of time where Anakin falls to the dark side and just sees where he progresses as Darth Vader. I can't wait.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I agree with all of that. I think it's going to be awesome. I think the Clone Wars, it's one of those things where I always worry that people won't go watch the Clone Wars because it's animated, and that's a turnoff for some people who are just in the traditional media. But it is canon and it is really important stuff. And with them releasing the Bad Batch, and then you've got Ahsoka in The Mandalorian.
Yes.
The tie-ins are going to be there through all of these different shows and spinoffs. So it's absolutely essential must-watch content for any Star Wars fan, and I think it's really good. To your point, it's really good stuff. So it's exciting. I think the future of Star Wars is in TV. I just really do. I think that when you talk about the level of world building that's needed, people didn't love the Skywalker saga ending, the sequels. Overall, I think, if you're asking my opinion, I think each movie has. I think the first two movies were fantastic as individual movies. I think the third one was okay. When you put them all together, though, I think it gets pretty messy. And so what TV allows you to do is to spread things out, cover the nitty-gritty, do things more long-form storytelling, which is what Star Wars lends itself to because it's a big, giant universe with lots of different things. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, and they're in good hands. Dave Filoni. I mean, that guy's a genius. He
is. That's what you need.
It's going to be in good hands. It's only going to get better.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I think turning the keys over to Dave Filoni earlier rather than later is the only mistake they have made. But it's going to be great. Him and Jon Favreau manning the live action space, like they're crushing it. And we only have to wait until May 4th for the Bad Batch. Only till May 4th. Then 6/11 we get Loki. We get Loki starring Tom Hiddleston, starring Owen Wilson. That's going to be something to see. Kirk, how are you feeling about Loki?
Loki's been kind of hiding for a long time. He's been off Earth, off whatever, off realm, off planet, and to see Loki come into the realm again, he was such a beloved character right off the bat. I'm super pumped. I have no idea where they're going with this. Is he going to go back to his heritage? Did he destroy it all? I don't remember. So to see him just be the sorcerer of mischief in this world is going to be super exciting and super popular, I think. It might beat out. I was a big fan of WandaVision, but this might be a contender as they go neck and neck to fight each other out because people love them some Tom Hiddleston, and myself included.
Well, I mean, how can you not? I mean, he's fantastic. By the way, The Night Manager, if you haven't watched The Night Manager, that's a must watch. You can find that on where can you find that, Kirk? Is that Prime Video?
I'm going to check my awesome app. Here's a free ad from Just Watch. Make sure you download that on every kind of
that is essential. Brandon, you have Just Watch?
I do not.
Oh, man, you got to have it. So here's how it works. You get in there. It's a free app. You add all your streaming services, and then you can type in the names of shows and movies. It'll tell you what services of yours they're available on.
It's great.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times where I'm looking for a show, and I mean, we all have all the streaming services now anyway, and the hardest part is to find which show you want to watch on all of them. So, yeah, that's gonna be a game changer.
It is a game changer.
And then you're hopping. But this one, I can tell you from Just Watch, they told me it's on Prime now.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. The Night Manager. It's a good one. It's a mini series. It's a limited series, one and done, and it's got a very much like a James Bond vibe. Starring Tom Hiddleston. It's really good, and Hugh Laurie. So. Yes. That's a good one.
House?
Yes.
Yes.
So Loki, I'm excited because we know that this Loki is not the main timeline Loki, kind of, right? Like he grabbed the Tesseract and rolled out in Endgame. He was gone. So he's opened up like a new reality because we know that they went back to get a different Tesseract, right? They went back, Cap and if I'm remembering correctly, Iron Man and Cap went back even farther to get the Tesseract from Anthony Stark.
Right.
And so then, or Howard Stark, sorry, not Anthony Stark, Howard Stark. So then this Loki is really the first time that we've had somebody open up like a different universe within the Marvel universe. I mean, there's a little bit of multiverse stuff going on, right? Like we had a Thanos from a different universe that was the actual antagonist in Endgame. People forget about that. Like the core Thanos from from Infinity War got his head chopped off by Thor. And then we had a different Thanos, and we have a different Gamora that's rolling around out there. So like there is some multiverse stuff going on, but this will be our first time like actually probably truly experiencing it. So that's pretty exciting.
Absolutely.
So that's June 11th.
Do you think it's gonna be like a time hop kind of deal, or is it gonna be reality? Because it looks like it might be the same reality, but just at a different time. Because it looks like what is it? DB Cooper?
Yeah.
DB Cooper, is that the guy who stole all the money and then jumped out the plane and then disappeared for the rest of his life? I mean, it looks like there's so many like urban myths that he might be trying to fill in with this mischievous Loki character.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that we know about Loki is he's a host unto himself. So if he ends up in a different reality and finds that one is better suited to him and he can, bend his whims that way. And like the Loki that rolled out is a different Loki than the one that we know. Like he's missed out on a bunch of character development journeys. Like all of Thor Dark Lord, Dark World, he didn't go through. He didn't go through Ragnarok. Like he didn't go through getting killed by Thanos. Like, he is like that more evil kind of Loki. So
right.
It's going to be an interesting show. It's going to be a must watch.
Yeah.
And then the last one, this one's really fun because I love Monsters, Inc. It's like one of my all-time faves. And this is Monsters at Work, which is post Monsters, Inc. So the only other content in the Monsters world we got was Monsters University, which was a prequel. And this will be the first bit of content that we really get that's afterwards. So this is when they're in the laugh, they're collecting laughs now. And so it'll be solely kind of, and Mike having the roles flipped where Mike's kind of like getting the laughs and Sully is his right-hand man. So how are you guys feeling about Monsters at Work?
So excited. If I remember correctly, this happens one day after we last saw our heroes.
No kidding. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's perfect for an episodic structure. You're just literally, you're going to work with them. You know, the span of it could be the full day that it happens or even more. So there's so many playful things they can do with this. I know my kids love Monsters, Inc. and Monsters U. This is clearly the next step. I honestly feel like this would be a good de-stressor after a full week of real work to go in and just watch this, to really just be like, yeah, that does happen. Because you know they're going to have some creative things of like, you know, characters at work that we all go through, the people that we know, and just to live that life with us. So I am super pumped about this one.
Now this is a series, isn't it? It's not
is.
just a movie. It's a series.
It's a series.
Yeah.
It's a series. And I wonder how they're going to handle the kids series, because like with the adult series, you know, the MCU series that they've done, and there's been one, so small sample size, but it's been week to week releases, and I wonder if they will do the same thing with the kids stuff. They probably don't have as much incentive to do it with the kids stuff because the kids aren't going to be spoiling each other on Monsters at Work. Like, I don't know. But that'll be interesting to see. And I'm just like excited to see what kind of content Pixar can spin up in the TV world. So that's coming to us July 2nd. So all that stuff is really close in. I mean, we're talking like 4 months, we'll have all of it. In 4 months, we'll have all of that. So
that's
really, really exciting. Really, really exciting stuff. Also on the Disney side, we spent, and on the Marvel side more specifically, we spent a ton of time last episode speculating about the Spider-Man 3 title. And it was revealed.
We did.
It was revealed to us this week. So if you haven't heard, the title of Spider-Man is Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home. Reactions, instant reactions when you heard the title. Kirk, go.
I was mad that I didn't think of it. That was my instant reaction. Because like you said, how long we speculated on it was...
We did not come up with that one. We named like 50 titles.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Brandon?
You know, it struck me as, okay, well, this is probably going to be setting in space.
Yes.
I'm not sure why, but it just seems like it probably will be. And it seems like, you know, they all have their whole theme with, you know, home. They encompass home in some kind of part of it. But I thought it was just so funny how, you know, they were tricking us, you know, days before with all these other titles. You know, you get on and I can't even remember any of the other titles right now.
That one was awesome. Home Slice.
Home Wrecker.
They had like the whiteboard with all the different names on it, drawing lines to different stuff. And I actually watched a video of them breaking down like the different parts of the whiteboard.
Oh, nice.
With the different names and how, like, you know, different characters actually, like, inside the Spider-Verse wrote on the whiteboard. You can tell different people's handwriting and how they would say, you know, well, we've done this or we've done that or this doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I mean, I love the Spider-Man. So my first reaction was awesome. The sooner the better. So it might be in outer space, it might not be, but yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait.
Yeah. It's exciting, and it's coming this year, guys. Like it's this year. So, you know, barring anything cataclysmic, we're gonna get it. So it's really exciting. I think my reaction. Well, let's talk about this. Is it gonna go in the multiverse? Are we getting the other Spider-Mans? Are we getting Andrew Garfield? Are we getting Toby? Kirk is emphatically nodding his head. Okay, let's hear it, Kirk. Why are you so confident in this?
So just a real quick thing. We have another kind of web series that we call Spilled Popcorn that we have spoiled WandaVision. So we try to not spoil things. On this episode, we'll absolutely spoil Tom and Jerry. And right now I'm going to dive into WandaVision just briefly, just a skosh. There is a scene in WandaVision. It's the Halloween episode where they cut to commercial, they cut back. There is a spider on the foreground, and right behind the foreground, I've said this on the episode.
I know, you're all over this. You're all over this.
There is a spider at the foreground. In the background, as they pan left, there is one of those like dancing used car lot balloon things. Guys. And it that's a better dance. Yeah. That's there. You guys got it. You guys got it. Were you guys in WandaVision?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was
you
me.
Like in the balloon?
That was me. Yeah.
But on it, you can clearly see Spider-Man's eyes. Not just any random decorative eyes. On this red balloon, it is Spider-Man's eyes immediately following a spider in the Halloween episode. It's absolutely coming. We will absolutely hit the multiverse. We'll absolutely see all of these characters. I'm putting my mortgage on it. I will do anything.
Wow. Okay.
Big statement.
Okay, so let me say this, and we're going to talk about it in Spilled Popcorn. So if you, like Kirk said, we've got that other series, Spilled Popcorn. New episode dropping of that on Monday with our reaction to the WandaVision finale. So don't miss that. And I'm not going to spoil anything WandaVision right here. I'm just going to ask a simple question to both of you, because I know you both are caught up. Are you more or less confident in the appearance of a multiverse involving the Spider-Man, mind you, following the WandaVision finale? Or no change? Are you in the same spot?
I would say no change. I have some justifications for the episode finale of WandaVision.
Okay.
So no change for me.
I'm gonna have to agree with Kurt. I feel like it didn't really. I didn't really think about Spider-Man whenever I was watching the finale. You know,
sure.
I didn't really put any pieces together. I just was enjoying WandaVision for what it was. I didn't really think about Spider-Man.
I'm gonna go less. I'm less confident in the Spider-Man appearing. I don't know. And we'll talk about it on Spilled Popcorn. So there's my annoying tease. I'll just leave that juicy tease, and you guys can catch us on Monday on Spilled Popcorn. But I am slightly less confident that we're getting a Spider-Verse in the MCU. I don't know, man. It's just they're messing with my brain with all this stuff. You got Deadline, like who was it? Deadline or Variety confirming that, Andrew Garfield was like in discussions. You got all these other villains. I don't know. It's all too much right now, and I want it so badly that it's like my emotions are getting in the way. So
it seems like that might be better fitted to the animated Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's true.
The Morales Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse is just the best. It's the best.
I love it.
It's so good. Okay, last Disney news. This is weird, unless you love Pinocchio, in which case this is awesome. I don't know. It depends on what kind of person you are, but we got Pinocchio casting. This is the Robert Zemeckis live-action Pinocchio, not to be confused with what's the other one, Kirk?
No, completely to be confused with. It's so confusing.
It's
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. as Geppetto.
Don't know the studio.
I don't know the studio either, but it's Guillermo del Toro. And I think they're both coming out next year or something. I don't know.
Hold on, we're getting two Pinocchio movies.
Yes, we're getting two Pinocchio movies. And one is Disney, and it's based on the Disney adaptation. And the other one is Guillermo del Toro, which, like, God help us. I mean, what even will that be? I can tell you one thing, it's going to be highly disturbing, but also you won't be able to take your eyes off of it. That's the other thing. So
I mean, we're going to spend 3 hours just on the donkeys portion of Pinocchio and Guillermo's version.
just on the Pleasure Island. That's actually the whole movie. It's the whole movie. They don't even do the beginning part with the fairy. They're just like, let's just go straight to the donkey. Let's go.
Let's haunt your dreams. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, back to the Disney remake version, because I know we all love the Disney live actions. And I'm saying that ironically. We already knew Geppetto was Tom Hanks, which, like, duh. Nowadays, it's just like there needs to be an endearing oldish guy. Okay, Tom Hanks, that's who it's going to be. Pinocchio is Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. He's newer on the scene. Obviously, he's young. And then the Blue Fairy, Cynthia Erivo, who I am in love with. I love Cynthia Erivo. Everything she does is magic. She is like a walking EGOT. She was in The Outsider, for those of you guys who watched that HBO Stephen King series. Did she win an Oscar for that song that she sang? Or no?
Maybe.
I can't remember. She's gonna win an EGOT if she hasn't already. She's really close. Mm-hmm. Then we've got Jiminy Cricket, Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jiminy Cricket.
Really?
Yeah. Which I love him too. It's a weird casting. I know he's an animated cricket, so like anything's a weird casting for that, but I'm still like kind of taken aback by that one. And then Honest John is Keegan-Michael Key, who Disney just loves. They'll put him in everything, as they should. He's fantastic.
Yes.
Any thoughts on Pinocchio, guys?
Meh.
I'm not excited for it. I mean, when is Disney going to learn that, we're not asking for these live action remakes?
Here's the thing, though, and I wholeheartedly agree. There have been 2 Disney live action remakes that I've actually enjoyed, and they were 2 that I wouldn't have expected. Jungle Book and Pete's Dragon. Actually, Pete's Dragon I thought was good with Bryce Dallas Howard. It's a totally different movie because the original Pete's Dragon is garbage, so that's probably why it was good. But didn't like Aladdin, really. Didn't like Lion King, really, at all. Beauty and the Beast was like okay, but like why also? So, I mean, all of them are. They're all just like okay, but also why. So, but they make $1 billion in the box office, like clockwork. Lion King, $1 billion. Aladdin, $1 billion. Like, we have to get people to stop seeing these movies, guys. Like, we have to. It needs to be our life's mission. We need to dedicate the rest of our lives to this goal.
What do they call it? Like the opposite campaign, a slam campaign. What is it called?
Smear campaign.
A smear campaign. We're going to start smear campaigns.
We need to be like those guys who get the big inflatable pig outside of the non-union projects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Or like the big cockroach.
That's the rat, the cockroach,
the rat. That's what it is. Yep. The rat. We need that. Oh, yeah. And we have a comment, Dumbo. We forgot Dumbo, which...
Oh, thank you.
Tim Burton Dumbo? Guys, no. That's not okay.
No.
And there's more of these coming. We got The Little Mermaid coming. We've got, they've talked about Hercules. I don't know if that's confirmed yet.
I could be on for that one.
Yeah, they could do something there. They could actually do something with it.
Love the cartoon version, Hercules.
Yes.
Soundtrack and all.
That I think, and maybe Hercules isn't the best use case, but like what I said earlier, Pete's Dragon, terrible original movie, make a new one better. That's what remakes are for. Like, you don't remake The Lion King. The Lion King is objectively an animated masterpiece that everyone loves. Beauty and the Beast, same boat. Aladdin is kind of in that boat too. So like, what do you have to gain artistically from remaking it live action? Nothing. You've got nothing to gain, in my opinion.
Yeah, artistically, but $1 billion.
$1 billion, yeah. I'll take $1 billion. I think that's a good point.
But can they guarantee $1 billion in the near future?
No.
Yeah.
Though I'll tell you, they just got $30 for me for Raya and the Last Dragon. They did. They got $30, and like it's good so far. So I mean, I'm not going to be mad if it's good.
So does it stay since you like bought it? Do you keep it? Because I know it might, a lot of times you buy it and you only get like 2 days for it.
Yeah, you get to keep it. You get to keep it. Stays in your Disney Plus, and I think any user profile on your Disney Plus can use it. If not, that's the dumbest thing ever. I'm just assuming.
It is depending on the rating that Disney has put on it.
Oh, right, because if it's like a kid's profile, yeah, that's a good point.
Gotcha.
So you get it, but here's the thing though: when they did it with Mulan, which that was a waste of money. They put it on Disney Plus like what, Kirk? A month and a half later for everybody?
45 to 60 days.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like you pay $30, you get it for, I mean, what are you going to do? Watch it like 10 times? I guess if you have little kids who are into it, then maybe, but you don't get $30 worth of value out of it, I don't think. No. It's for people like us who do movie podcasts and have to talk about the movies. So, okay, moving along. What do we got next? Oh, The Gray Man. Have you guys heard of The Gray Man? You heard about this?
Briefly, but I don't know enough. Yeah.
Okay, well here, let me just tease you. It won't take long for me to get you on the hook for this movie.
Okay.
The Russo brothers are directing it. Here's your top 3 in the cast: Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Ryan Gosling. And it's a spy thriller, espionage, like spy versus spy type of thing. So, I mean...
Love it.
That's got to be good, right?
Well...
But it is on Netflix. We'll see.
Let me be the naysayer. That is the ingredients of a perfect soup right there. Those 3 are some of my favorites. However, the Russo brothers, while incredible in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, have not proven themselves well outside of it.
Good point.
So I'm worried. I'm a little worried about it.
Because Extraction was okay, but it wasn't. It was okay.
Yep. 21 Bridges.
21 Bridges was not good.
Tanked. Yeah. I want it to be good because those 3 should be able to create some incredible chemistry. They're all very magnetic in their own individual ways.
Yeah.
So I'm always hopeful. I always say it unless it's Tom and Jerry, but this I'm really excited about. But I'm cautious going into it.
I'll be optimistic about it. I mean, I know that Netflix is they're big on the eye candy projects, like things that look really good, but have no real meat to them a lot of times, especially in the action genre. Mm-hmm. So we'll see, but they have done enough to pique my interest, but basically they've added some more people to the cast, including Billy Bob Thornton, Alfred Woodard, and this guy from Bridgerton, the hot new thing on the town, Regis John Page. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
I always forget. He was just on SNL. And he said his name like 100 times. It was really funny.
Did he? Oh man, I missed it.
Did. Yeah, he was really funny. At least in his monologue, it was a good time. So yeah, it's that cast. Good ingredients. We shall.
Do we have a premise to that yet?
No, other than it's like spy thriller. That's all. That's okay. Like all I know. But
that's fair.
It's based on a book, actually. So maybe we should do like. I think it's based on a book, and maybe even like a series of books, actually. Hold on. This is bad radio, but let's... Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Mark Greaney is the author.
Okay.
So yeah, The Gray Man is the first, but there's a whole slew of them. So this could be a franchise.
It could be a full franchise. Which
is
smart.
Those are the magic words to Netflix. They're like, what'd you... Franchise? You've piqued my attention.
And the Russo brothers are like, yeah, we'll do like 6 of them. Let's go.
Yeah, I read an article about the Russo brothers where the author, I thought, perfectly said like they've cashed in their carte blanche. Like they did all the great Marvel movies, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame, all of which were fantastic. And now people are ready to be like, here are the keys to the kingdom, and they're just like, we'll do whatever we want. So good for them. They've earned it, and let's hope it'll be good. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. Okay, a couple more news stories. Well, actually, just one, and it's huge, and it's Superman. It's Superman, and here is the scoop on this because I was floored. Yeah, get it, Kirk. There it is. Kirk's a big Superman guy. That's probably one of the things we disagree most on is love for Superman. I am hashtag anti-Superman, but it's okay. I don't want to get into it, but we'll have to talk about it at some point.
I'll have to have this conversation.
Okay, but here are some things to get you guys interested in this movie. J.J. Abrams producing it. Does that do anything for you guys? J.J. Abrams?
Every time.
Yes, yeah.
Producing, not directing, though. It's like, he's produced a lot of stuff. Some of it's good, a lot of it's bad. Then there's Ta-Nehisi Coates writing. For anyone who reads some comic books, there's been some good Ta-Nehisi Coates comic books. Wrote on Black Panther for a while. Really good run there. Henry Cavill not expected to return, and that is why we have a rendering of Michael B. Jordan. Let me remind you guys of something for just a second. In 2019, Variety reported... Was it Variety? Was it Deadline? I want to get that right. Sorry, I'm annoying with that stuff. It was Variety. Yeah, Variety reported that Michael B. Jordan pitched a Superman movie to DC. Like, pitched it to Warner, and then they were, like, ready to go on it, and there were scheduling conflicts.
He does it all. He writes, he directs.
Yeah, he's the guy. So are we getting Well, first of all, Ta-Nehisi Coates writing, he's an African-American writer. Are we getting African-American Superman? Is it happening? Are we getting Black Superman? And is it Michael B. Jordan?
I mean, who else would it be? Michael B. Jordan is not going to let that go to anyone else. You know, if he went to all the trouble, I believe the story is true. I believe the source. I mean, I don't know them personally, but I believe that it's real, that this is happening because, I mean, what else is his next step? You know, he tried out Marvel in the Fantastic Four, and then he was amazing as Killmonger. You know, there is a chance he might come back with the multiverse opening up. There is a good chance he could come back. Oh, there's Black Panther. Oh, that's Killmonger right there.
There he is.
So I just think that it's only fair for him to go over to DC's side and make things right. Let's let all of the Marvel team, but we also need the writers. Okay, it's not just the actors. We got big actors already in DC's camp over in the cinematic world, but let's get them all over there to fix everything. And Michael B. Jordan going over there, it'd be a big win. And just hearing him say, "The son becomes the father, and the father the son."
That's good.
Will melt my heart. I love it.
Here's a question for you though. Like, are we ready to cut Henry Cavill loose?
No.
Brandon says no. Kirk?
No.
I think Henry Cavill is ready to cut loose. I would keep him. I don't think he's going to stick around though. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I think he's more out the door than they want him to be. But I mean, for me, I have mixed feelings about it. I think the classic Superman. Maybe they can do multiverse kind of deal.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can. They can do whatever. It's comic books, right?
You know, Superman cousin. You know, they have Superman boy. They have like Supergirl. You know, how about my African American cousin? That's also super.
That's right.
I mean, I think it's cool. Like we've gotten a Black Superman in the comics. I think it'd be good. Ta-Nehisi Coates is an incredible writer, so I'm confident that whatever screenplay they come together with, if Warner stays out of it, which they're notoriously like, well, it depends on who you're talking to, but if you're talking to Zack Snyder, he says they're all over you, but it's possible that they get a good written movie, which would be, that's half the battle. Yeah, I agree with you, Brandon. Let's do standalone. Let's do multiverse. Let's do something that's different. I want it protected. You know, like if it's going to be good, I want it protected, kind of like this Matt Reeves Batman thing, where it's like it's its own thing, but like for now, right? We all know that like if it takes off and there's money to be made by tying it in to the rest of their whatever. I don't even know if you can call it DC Extended Universe anymore. Like if there is money to be made with that, they'll do it. But they're starting it off by saying it's its own thing. I think they should do the same thing with this Superman movie. Let's see how it goes. If it's good, great. Let it do its thing. If it's bad, then you haven't invested a whole extended universe in it, which is the mistake that DC has made like 10 times by now. Yes. I'm excited about it. Henry Cavill, man, it's tough. It's tough with Henry Cavill. Like I just don't feel like he ever got a fair shake. I actually think the best movie that they made with him was Man of Steel, and
Yep.
Zack Snyder wanted to do some really interesting things there. I disagreed with his approach on some of that stuff, but I still think the movie had character and heart, and they were going for something, and it was like intentional, and I respected that because it's so different from what DC is doing now. So, you know, Batman versus Superman was awful, and what they did to him in Justice League was really bad. So maybe this is the Henry Cavill redemption tour too with the Snyder cut. I don't know, but yeah, I agree. I think he's gone.
Like, are you guys anything like me where it's like you never see any of these superheroes at their full potential capacity? You know, it's like, you know, Superman has never really been off the chart Superman, just like fighting everybody, like going crazy. And I think you can have a little bit more artistic freedom whenever you do kind of part ways from the classic Superman trope. You know, keep Henry Cavill, but you know, he's
not Clark Kent. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think, and that's most of the problems I have with Superman have to do with Clark Kent. So
right, I was, you know, one of the most controversial things of Man of Steel is that he snaps Zod's neck at the end of that film.
Right.
But I was a big fan of that moment. I was a big fan. I was kind of creepy in the movie theater. I was like, do it, get him. I mean, it was perfect.
Well, because it gives the character depth, right? I mean, it gives him depth, which is what Superman lacks. It's my critique of Superman as a character. It's the easy critique of the character.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I thought that was perfect to give him more dimension, to make him more real, to make him not perfect. And everyone was mad about it. I'm like, why are you mad? This is so good. Let's keep rolling. And then we got Batman versus Superman, and then Justice League, and garbage is what we got. So maybe they'll take him back to the drawing board. He's probably out. It breaks my heart. But I'm also down for a Michael B. Jordan multiverse with Henry Cavill. So let's go.
We can only hope. We can only hope. All right. That's it for What's Poppin'. Let's pop it up one last time. All right. Movie review time.
Time those last two.
Try to time them. Yeah. Movie review time. We're reviewing Tom and Jerry. It's available. If you guys are HBO Max subscribers, you can watch this. Unlike with Disney's Premier Access, you can watch this with no additional cost. So if you're a subscriber, you have it. And you have it for another 20-something days, because they do this thing where they release it in theaters, they release it on HBO Max the same day, but then they only keep it on HBO Max for a month, and then they pull it down. So you got some time to watch it, and you can do so. I am synopsing this time, which is not a word, but we use it on this show.
We do.
Just in case you're wondering, Brandon. I just say synopsing. It's like not a real word, but hey, in our universe it is. Okay, so Tom and Jerry. So what we get in this movie, just to kind of set the stage for you, is like one of these movies, kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog, where you've got, or like Roger Rabbit, where you've got like real life mixed with the super cartoony, like very much looks like old school Tom and Jerry kind of animation. And it's hard to tell if like Tom and Jerry were like knew each other beforehand, but they have a meeting and then they end up at each other's throats as always. But there's this other plot where you've got this girl Kayla who has just been let go from a job or didn't get a job or something like that, and she's trying to make ends meet in New York City. She's got big ambitions, and she ends up stealing someone's resume and getting a job at this really fancy hotel, the Royal Gate, and she's put in charge of doing some pretty high level stuff because she stole somebody's resume. And all of a sudden, Tom and Jerry are at the hotel, and they're causing antics, and now she's got to work with Tom to get Jerry out of the hotel. It's a whole thing. So that's basically the synopsis of the movie. The movie is an hour and 40-something minutes long, so if you have kids and you're looking for something that's short enough to keep their attention, this is well within that range. But let's dive into our review. And we don't do this often. I'm going to go off script, okay? I'm going to go off script. Usually, for those of you who are new to the show, we do a really structured review where we do, here's the best actor in the movie, here was the scene stealer, showstopper, what we would, our notes, director's shoes, like what we would change if we were in the director's chair, and then we give a score. But I have to ask, Kirk, ask you.
Yeah.
Are we tanking this movie? Is your score low?
I would say yes. It is unfortunately low.
All right, and Brandon's getting in on scoring for the first time, so we'll be excited to hear Brandon. But I will just tell you this, because we haven't really shared notes, but I do not have a best actor or a scene stealer or really a showstopper, and I have some pretty harsh opinions on this movie. So I think we might want to go a little different with our review structure and just kind of like free talk it. Can I just get some stuff off my chest is basically what I'm asking.
We're happy to have you do this. We're here for you. This is a safe space. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Take your time.
Here's the thing. I'll start, and if you guys have thoughts, you're welcome to build off it. We'll just kind of chat it, okay? I have some big problems with this movie, really from beat one. First of all, I hate that it's the Roger Rabbit like thing. I hate that. I hate that it's like cartoon in the real world. I thought it looked bad in Sonic. I think it always looks bad. I just don't know that there's a super good way to do it. In fact, maybe Roger Rabbit is the best example of them like doing it pretty well. I don't know. It doesn't work. And as soon as they introduced Chloe Grace Moretz, who plays Kayla in this movie, and they started her whole storyline, I was like, I'm out. Because it just, like, Tom and Jerry is a very simple concept. You guys watched the show, right? Like, back in the day. You put it on Boomerang when you're, growing up. Like, that was the thing. And it's very simple. It's cat versus mouse. It's old school cartoon antics, like dropping stuff on each other's heads, like catching people on fire, etc. So as soon as you add in this like real world core plot that doesn't even really have much to do with Tom and Jerry, you've lost me completely. I feel like the concept itself was flawed, and it was trying to dig itself out of that the whole time. Because in my opinion, what you should do with this movie is you just make it all cartoon, and you make it like very much Tom and Jerry. You started off with them in their normal antics in their house, not in like some weird foreign environment to them. And then as the movie goes along, they have to maybe like team up on something, a larger plot emerges, but it's all like very much within the same schematic of Tom and Jerry. And it doesn't feel like you've plopped them into this totally different environment to a story that has nothing to do with them really, and you try to make that work. And then you take that, so we already got a flawed concept that's my opinion, and then you throw in really bad acting by, I thought Chloe Grace Moretz is really bad. I thought Rob Delaney was overacting, which is what he does. He plays like one type of character, and that's really it. I thought whatever they were doing with Michael Pena was bizarre. Like
weird.
Really weird. Colin Jost was awful. And I was just like, please let this movie be over. And that was like 30 minutes in. So that's where I'm at. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I had similar feelings. I felt like I was duped at the beginning of this film because you open up with that beautiful 4K of the river. I don't know what river it is. I'm bad at geography. Were they in New York? I'm assuming.
Yeah, New York.
And they're coming across that water, and it is crisp and it is clean.
It did look good.
You got the birds flying in. I'm like, this is cool. I'm rocking. It's like, this is kind of silly. It's a kid's movie. Let's go. You get some slapstick right away from Tom and Jerry. Okay. So then you're like, hold on, wait. Like when Tom and Jerry finally officially meet, like in the woods, and Tom, the cat, is doing like this weird, very non-PC, like pretending to be blind and playing a piano for money.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. But then you discover that this is not a continuation of their relationship, of their just their coincidental home that they lived in together. No, this is a full-on reboot of Tom and Jerry's relationship.
Yeah, they have no prior knowledge of each other, right?
None. And that is what made it so playful. They're killing each other over and over again.
Yeah, they're hitting each other with hammers. I mean, they're setting each other on fire. There needs to be some rapport there, right?
Yes, they got to understand, like, I mean, I hate you, but I'm not going to kill you. No, there's no lines for them. That's what's so great about their relationship in the show. You just know. Obviously, we know in the movie they're not going to just like decapitate in this kid's movie, although maybe that would have been a better ending. I don't know. We'll see. But the slapstick is on point. The reboot is confusing. And to what you said, Cam, the whole storyline of the hotel, this was 100% two movies that they grabbed and just shoved together. I think we need to have it's like a twofer. There needs to be some sort of horrible nickname that we give it that I think we should come up with. Well, that'll come later.
And here's my question. So you watched this movie one time. I know you guys, I think, Kirk, you've watched it multiple times. Brandon, did you watch it multiple times?
I watched it once.
What if somebody mentions the name of this movie, what's the first thing you think of? Do you think of the Cat and the Mouse, or do you think of Chloe Grace Moretz?
Chloe,
definitely.
For sure, right?
It didn't feel like a Tom and Jerry movie.
It's not
a Chloe Grace Moretz movie with sprinkled in Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was completely, two different premises that we're trying to force together to make it. I think a lot of these times they play on a brand, like a play on the Tom and Jerry brand that doesn't really work. And for this, it didn't really work. The setting of typical Tom and Jerry is in an old farmhouse, like on a farm where they interact with other animals who can talk, by the way, but Tom and Jerry never seem to talk. In this whole movie, they didn't really talk. Tom can sing though. He can sing and write his name and everything.
Yes.
He can't talk. It's like
dude. What was with the singing? And the singing was auto-tuned. What was that?
It was a messed up scene. That's what that was. I was mad at that part.
Did anybody else feel kind of sorry for Jerry or Tom though? Because I felt Jerry was a little bit of a jerk. He broke his piano right off the bat. All Tom was trying to do was get a little bit of side money playing piano. Maybe he was tricking people with a whole blind cat playing a piano, but a normal cat playing a piano is still pretty impressive. So I don't know. I struggle with it.
Yes, all of that. That.
I mean, I've got some things that I like to call a segment called "Why," where I just go a little crazy on why Joy the Bell Girl. Why was she a thing? Why did she appear? And let me rewind here. So
Joy the Bell. It took me a while to figure out who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about now.
Oh my gosh,
that was the girl who is actor. That was my standout. That was the best part of the movie.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Really short. So I've watched this movie several times. I actually watched it backwards. I came home, the kids had already started the movie, and the first thing I see was like the third or fourth instance of Joy the Bell Girl surprising them. I was like, okay, that's the gimmick, fun. And then you watch it, and there's like 6 times where she does that. You broke the rule. It's 3. The rule of comedy is 3. Get it together. Tim Story, I think, is the director.
Tim Story, yeah.
Why Colin Jost? Why? Why did they choose him? What was the reason? He doesn't have any kids to like please in his house. Him and ScarJo are getting married or are already married. Why? He should have just been the joke writer on the back half of this thing and made this thing funnier. Why? I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
I can keep going here for hours. However, I will say I did love Michael Pena much, and that's a little opposite of you guys, but I stinking loved him. He saved so many failed jokes that just made my heart my heart warm. Colin Jost has a random prison joke. Why? No kid knows about prison. Why does the fictional wedding of these NYC socialites have to do with the full storyline of Tom and Jerry? Why was this project greenlit after years of shelving? I think it was originally conceptualized in 2008. Why did we see that big dog go to the bathroom in the street? Completely unnecessary. I hate bathroom humor. I'm done with it. I mean,
I don't hate bathroom humor. I'll tell you what I irrationally hated, though. When they went in the kitchen, which we've got a comment actually from somebody who's watching about Kim Jong.
Yes.
He was in the movie for like no time at all. In the trailer, like our viewers said, Fox Pixar Media is the username there, by the way. They are saying he looks like the villain in the trailer, which is true. He's in the movie for like 10 seconds of total screen time. I mean, it's like so short. What in the world? But anyway, going back to that, the stakes in the kitchen were animated. Because they have to be like everything that's an animal is animated. That's like the universe they're trying to set up here. They're trying to like, these are the rules of the world, and therefore steak must also be cartoon. That just really bothered me. I don't know why. Like it made me, I was seething. I don't know why I was getting so mad about it.
Yeah, trying to figure out what was real and what was, I mean, obviously it was animated, was real, but the whole physics of everything, they were still kind of jumping and moving and doing all this outrageous stuff, but when it comes to the regular people who, the human beings, they're limited to like the physics of being a human. So like, it's weird whenever you put these animated characters into like human movies and their physics are completely different, separate from regular humans. So I don't know. It never works, like you said, Cam. It just comes off a little bit weird.
Yeah, and also Fox Pixar Media in the comments wants us to know the WAG logo, Warner Animation Group. They have a new logo. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah,
it looks like the new Shield, and this person has dropped like 1,000 comments about it. They're a big fan. So shout out to the new WAG Shield.
I did not know that.
Is it on? Is it on this picture? No, it's not.
Not on that one. I'll see if I can pull it.
We got to find it.
If I can pull it up here. One last thing while I'm looking for it here. The another just total takeaway. I'm sorry, throwaway character. The bartender friend. Like every moment you saw him, he's like, are they going to kiss? Like, are they going to be like,
yeah. And then that was like a relationship at the end, basically.
Yeah. There was never like, so if he was just supposed to be a friend and provide guidance and support, there was never any kind of groundbreaking philosophical, like left hook that he gave. He was just like,
he was just there. Yeah. He might have been the best actor in the movie, though, if we're being honest.
Oh, I disagree.
I don't know. I feel like it's close. I don't know what Michael Pena was doing. I feel like Michael Pena has gotten to the point in his career where he doesn't have to play a stereotypical, like, Hispanic villain anymore, right? Can't we say that? I mean, he's a good actor. He's been in great movies. He's fantastic in Ant-Man, and he's playing this like end of watch, fantastic in that. He's been in tons of good movies, and here he is playing this totally antiquated stereotype. I'm just like, why, dude? Like, how big was the paycheck? I don't understand why he did this.
It seemed like they didn't completely flesh out the character.
No, they didn't.
It seemed like his accent or what lack thereof was really strange, and it kind of came and went, and I don't know, his whole character was just kind of offbeat.
I mean, I'll say that when he joins the movie at the top, and he says, when she says something about, is that the aquatics director? And he points at it, he says, that's Goldie. That's not an aquatics director, that's a fish.
Yeah.
Killed me.
What was going on? Yeah, so here's the new WAG shield for you guys. Looks good. It's the same as the Warner. It's the Warner Brothers shield, only it's red instead of blue. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. It's looking good. So in case you guys didn't catch that, there it is. I mean, I will say, like, the one thing, there was one scene in this movie where I was like, okay, I'm digging this. And it was the scene in the hotel room where Tom had gotten all settled in, or Jerry, I guess. Jerry had gotten all settled in the hotel, and Tom comes to the window, and he's like, I'm going to end you. And they, like, duke it out. I was like, this is better. Like, it was kind of cool because it was like, it was the one example of, like, okay, we've got real world textures interacting with them, but it's like kind of working. Okay. Like, it's kind of working. Like, there's feathers from the pillow. There's, glass. Like, he cuts a hole in the glass with this. Like, it looked okay. And I was like, why not just, I think an hour and a half of just this with no dialogue whatsoever would be better than this movie. I really do. I really, truly believe that.
How often in this original series, I can't remember, but how often in the original series were they outside of the home? Was it frequent, or were they
I would say once per episode.
Okay, gotcha. So hearing you say that, you're exactly right. That was the most entertaining part. It was the most exciting part. It made the most sense, right? So if we could go back in time and talk to Warner Brothers Studios, if we could, Warner Animation Group,
yes,
if we could go back and say, hey, listen, what if this is the very first time they break out of the house and they're discovering this new world, and they're discovering how, they're getting lost in a city, and their found objects is how they're hitting each other upside the head and whatnot. That would be so much. It would make so much more sense.
It would. And they don't even really have to have much plot for it to work. They really don't, because the other show.
They really should have started in the house and, maybe had a cut of the lady's legs. You know how they showed humans in the cartoons? It was always like from the waist down,
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I remember the early episodes, she had like a broom, and she would hit Tom, and his name was Jasper, actually, originally. She would go like, Jasper, and smack him with the broom. Like, yes, Brandon, you're 100% right. Like, something to ground us, something to be like, here's Tom and Jerry. You remember them, you know them, you love them. This is them. And then we're going to expand their boundaries. When, like, maybe when they open the door, it's real textures, but inside the home, like, that would have been, cool. That would have been cool. And they didn't. And I just think they try to do too much, which is the mistake that I will say that most films that are bad are not bad because they didn't do enough. It's always like, they're almost always bad because they tried to do too much. And this is like a classic case of that. And Here's my last gripe about this movie, and then I'll stop. We have no reason to care about Kayla. There are no stakes. She doesn't have, she's not going to lose her apartment. I mean, we don't really hear about that. Like, she has to pay. We don't hear about, like, oh, I've got a sick mom. I don't know. That's lazy writing too. But, like, there are no stakes. Why do we care if Kayla gets a job or not? We don't care. We don't even know who she is. We don't like her. We don't know her. We don't know anything about her. So, like, in the end, when it's like, oh man, I wonder how Kayla's going to get out of it. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't know.
Yeah. It's true. No, you're absolutely right. Because if we're trying to find a moral compass to this movie, because it's a kid's movie, right? She's a liar. She's a hustler. She is conniving, and she still gets everything she wants.
She
does.
The end. She wins. Yeah. She gets the job too.
She gets the job.
She does.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, should we score this thing?
Let's do it.
Do you want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. Here, I'll give my final thoughts. I hate tanking kids' movies. It's my least favorite thing in the world. I hate it. And because the reason is this movie is not made for me at all. But there's always a but. And it is, you can make good kids' movies. You can do it. People do it all the time. And they make really good ones that are funny and slapsticky. Like Warner Animation Group, hello, the Lego movie. You guys are awesome at this. Like, make a good kids movie that teaches good lessons, like you said, Kirk, and like is a cohesive story. That's it. You can't just phone it in because it's a kids movie. So I'm not giving them the pass just because it's a kids movie. I could, and maybe I should. I don't know, but I'm giving it a 1.1 out of 10. It's the lowest score I've ever given on this podcast in 62 episodes.
Wow, man. I mean, wow, that's incredible.
I'm sorry, but it just had to be done. It had to be done.
We watched a real clunker, which previously held the score for the lowest, held the record for the lowest score that we have ever given. Came out in 2019 or early 2020, called The Kitchen. Cam gave it a 1.7. I gave it a 2 when that movie came out.
Oh man, I would have sworn that I gave Trolls World Tour a lower score, but I think you're right.
Oh,
I think
maybe.
No, I didn't. I don't think I did.
I think The Kitchen still stands the test of time, but until now, Tom and Jerry has usurped the lowest score from Cam.
Well deserved too.
Awesome. This movie, all of the reasons that I said about why this is terrible, I have to give it one more that I didn't discuss. They talk about some pretty intense social issues, relationships that are on a very mature level, like between Ben and Prita. You know, she says that, well, I told him that I don't want it, and he keeps giving more. Like, that's a very complex emotionally layered thing that does not happen, and kids couldn't care less about it. So there's a couple of moments like that where Kayla's stressed about her job and where she's going to live, and kids don't know that feeling and can't relate to that in any way, shape, or form. So on an emotional level, it's completely offbeat here. I will say I did love Rob Delaney and I did love Michael Pena, much to your guys' chagrin. I thought they were the only redeeming quality, and my kids, for some reason, they love this movie.
There you go.
My son, he acts out Tom and Jerry at the same time.
Yeah. What's not to love about those two characters? They're great.
Yes. And when my son listens to this podcast in a few years, he's going to hate me. But I have to give this movie a 2.9 out of 10.
All right. Brandon, you're up.
A lot of pressure here. Okay.
First time. No pressure whatsoever.
All right. So for me, I'm going to push back on you a little bit, Cam. I think this movie was directly made for our generation. Directly for us. Because a lot of kids, they won't recognize Tom and Jerry. They don't know who they are. I mean, unless you have Boomerang, they don't really show Tom and Jerry on, mainstream media or TV or whatever. But I do think it was made for us. However, it wasn't done in the fashion that we would have liked it to be. So I will say that. But for me, it was nostalgic. There was a lot of callbacks from what they had whenever we were kids. Like right off the bat, whenever they played the joke, whenever Tom was playing the piano, and he grabs up Jerry and he's looking in his hand, and he opens up his hand, and Jerry's also looking in his hand, and he's like, "Oh no, I don't want to show you what's in my hand."
Yeah.
They have those same kind of tropes that we've been used to, and I don't know. There was just so many callbacks, bringing in, I think the dog's name is Brutus.
Yes.
And then the girl cat. Every time I see her, all I can think about is like, is you is or is you ain't my baby.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of nostalgic things there for me. So I won't be as rough on it as you both, but I will give it 4 out of 5. I will give 4.5 kernels out of 10.
Okay.
All right.
That's a good score. Okay. That was fun. Tom and Jerry. If, as always, here's the thing. This is what we always emphasize every time. Even if we tank a movie, go see it. You have to form your own opinion. You have to see things. You have to experience it. You have to watch bad movies from time to time, too. So even if you think you're going to agree with us, watch it. It's good for you. It's a palate cleanser. It helps you understand why good movies are so good. And maybe you'll like it. Everything is interpretive, so check it out. You can see that at your local theater if you feel safe enough to do that, which is totally fine. And you can watch it on HBO Max. So 2 places for you. And that is our review of Tom and Jerry. All right, guys, we got 1 segment left. We're humming along. We got a game. We're going to play a game, and it is called Cat and Mouse, just like Tom and Jerry. As I reminded at the beginning of the show, we're each going to give each other – one person is going to give the other 2 people part of a hero-villain pairing. Okay. And it'll either be the cat and the mouse. That's up to you. It doesn't really matter. You have to give the other side of the pair. Got it?
Copy that.
So, Brandon, you can play along if you want to. You don't have to.
I don't have any characters.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll say some. Kirk, we'll trade back and forth, but you guys can both guess whenever. So
okay. So how do we know, since there are 2, do we say our name? Is that how people do it? They say Kirk when they know the answer?
No, just shout it out.
Okay, got you. Cool.
Just shout it out. Yeah. No, we're not gonna get formal. We're gonna get weird.
Okay.
Okay. Let me pull up my notes here. Do you want to go first, Kirk, or you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay. Go. Oh wait.
The cat.
Okay. Go. Whenever we do this every game, I swear we've done this like 30 times where I'm like, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first? And it's like, I want to go first. And it's like, wait, does that mean first person asking the question or first person answering? We do this every time. Okay, so go. You start. Tell me.
I meant asking. I'm going to ask.
Okay.
Okay, cool. The cat.
Okay.
Is Hans Gruber.
John McClane.
There it is. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, yeah.
Got it.
I don't have to say ding, ding, ding anymore.
Was that a softball, Kirk, or was that intended to be hard? Because I smashed that.
That was softball? Oh, I'm going to do terrible at that.
Well, I mean, Kirk's a big diehard guy. So that's like, I read the scouting report. I knew that one was coming. Like, that's, first pitch is going to be curveball right there. Okay. My turn. Ready? The mouse, literally, well, kind of, is Master Splinter.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, yeah, but who's the cat? Shredder. Brandon got it. It's not Name the Show, Kirk. It's not Name the Show.
I was thinking the team. Oh, man.
Shredder, good one.
It is Shredder.
All right, Kirk, you're up.
Oh, gosh. Okay. The cat.
Okay.
Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
Clarice. Oh, what's her last name? We probably have to have the last name. Yeah, it's too easy.
I'll give it to you.
No. Make me work for it.
Work for it, Cam. Work for it. You too, Brandon. What do you got?
I got her first name. I can look it up.
Hello, Clarice. Fox Pixar Media. I know you got some knowledge out there. Thank you for sticking around on this show with us.
I don't know. Are they still here?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Yeah, they commented about a minute ago.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, they got one for us. We'll do that one next.
Okay.
Fan involvement. Let's do it. We'll engage. It's our first time. We're working out the kinks. I don't know the last name. What's the last name?
Clarice Starling.
Starling.
There's
the bat. Give myself 3 of those. Here we go. The cat is Rex Kramer. That's coming from Fox Pixar Media.
Rex Kramer.
Rex Kramer.
Can we drop a hint on this?
Yeah, we can drop a hint.
Are you still there, Fox Pixar Media?
I don't know.
Live on StreamYard.
The movie is the Kentucky Fried Movie. Oh. I have not seen this.
Oh,
I'll be honest. Hand up, have not seen it.
I have also not seen it. I've just heard about it 100 times.
Fox Pixar Media, what's the answer? I don't know, but there's one quote and it involves the N-word, so that's not a good start.
If I remember correctly, this movie is more like a bunch of vignettes that kind of it almost seems like a sketch comedy. It's from Airplane.
I don't know.
I am perplexed.
I've seen Airplane, but I don't remember Rex Kramer. Is Rex Kramer in Airplane?
Is he the pilot?
I don't know. We'll wait for an answer, but we'll move on in the meantime. Is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
Okay. You've given the cat both times. I'm giving the mouse both times.
Oh, well, do whatever you want, man.
Here's the mouse. Katie Heron. Or Caddy.
Oh. What?
Katie Heron. This is a tricky one.
Is this a movie show?
It's a movie.
Katie.
Spelled C-A-D-Y.
Oh, Gretchen.
Gretchen?
Is her name Gretchen? No, it's not.
I mean, Gretchen Wieners is in this movie.
That's what I'm thinking of. Oh no. It's Mean Girls. What's her name? What is her name? I'm drawing the worst blank ever.
That's what happens in these games. Even if you know it, they fall apart.
Gretchen Wieners and what's her name? Rachel McAdams.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know her name. Why?
Oh, Ted Stryker, by the way, Fox Pixar Media. Ted Stryker. That's what it is from Airplane. Because you said something Stryker, right? Ted Stryker
is the pilot, I believe. So I'm half right on every one of these answers.
Yes, he is the pilot. You're right. Okay.
Excellent.
Did you get it yet? Did you get the Mean Girls one yet?
No, I just have Rachel McAdams.
Okay,
I know it's Rachel
done.
McAdams.
Brandon, you got it?
I got nothing.
Regina George.
I wouldn't have gotten it.
You get 5 of those, Kirk.
Well,
they're growing, they're compounding, they're growing exponentially with each wrong answer.
Well, you know what? Do you want me to stump you, or do you want this game to be fun?
I want a stumper. We've already gotten a couple stumpers from people watching along with us. So let's go.
I'll stump you. There's no way that you know the answer to this.
No
There's
way,
not a chance in the world you know the answer to this.
Bring it.
Are you ready? Brandon, you ready?
Yes.
You're not. Neither of you are ready. The Mouse.
Okay.
Dr. Richard Kimball.
Dr. Richard Kimball. Oh, this is ER, isn't it?
No, it is not.
It's not?
No, sir. This is an Academy Award-winning film.
Oh, it's going to be super old. It's going to be one of these James Dean movies I haven't seen.
No, sir. No, sir. This was in the 90s.
The Mouse is Dr. Richard Kimball.
It also had a television show. There was one of the antagonists of the movie. You could say that he has no arm. He was a one-armed killer. You killed my wife.
I am totally gone.
From The Fugitive? Hello.
Oh, yeah. I didn't. Dr. Richard Kimball? Is that Harrison Ford?
That is Harrison Ford. He is the mouse. And the cat who takes him.
It's the doctor that threw me.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a trickster. You knew that would throw me. Okay.
Tommy Lee Jones, Samuel Gerard is the cat.
Okay. I'm not giving you my softball. I haven't given the softball yet. I'm not giving it to you. So I'm just going to let it go. I'll mention it at the end.
Oh man, you're destroyed. You're mad.
Here, this one's kind of easy though.
Okay.
Here's the cat. No. Here's the mouse. Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, well. Does he have like a super villain that always comes back?
Yeah, dude.
Has he got an arch nemesis?
Yes.
I mean,
you guys aren't Sherlock? Did you guys watch Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch? No?
I did not.
No?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's in this one too. He's in that one too. I mean, he's in the second one of that, maybe?
All I think about is the Hound of the Baskervilles. That's all I think about.
It's the same guy who was in Chernobyl. In the Robert Downey Jr. one, I'll pull it up. That was just called Sherlock Holmes, right? The Robert Downey Jr. one?
Yes. And then the Book of Shadows is the second one.
Like a game of shadows. A
game of shadows.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's just call this game Stump City because man, these are tough. I still like it.
I think they're just tough because it's like it's just one of those things when you play these games. I've done this every time we've played a game where it's like you know the answer, but you're freezing under the pressure.
I mean, Regina George, like I'm not going to sleep tonight because I should have known that. Come on.
No, it's not a big deal. Oh yeah, Jared Harris. This is the guy from Chernobyl. He plays him, and it's a very nondescript name, but he's got a red beard. You know, anybody?
I have no idea.
Professor James Moriarty.
Oh, now I know it. I know that name. Rats.
Right? See, I almost gave you Moriarty. If I would have said James Moriarty, would you have said Sherlock Holmes? You probably would have. Right?
No, I just know it by association.
Really? You wouldn't have? Oh, man, no, I should have gone with that. I think it is slightly easier that way. Okay, Kirk, you're up.
All right, I'm going to give you another softball, and there's two answers to this one. You could do either one, depending on which film in the series you're talking about. Honestly,
let's go.
The cat is the Terminator.
Okay, so then it's John Connor or his mom.
That is correct. John Connor and Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor.
Both are correct.
Sarah Connor. Yeah. I saw a tweet recently that was like, people never talk about the fact that like, I'm going to butcher it. And it's probably better that I paraphrase it because I'm not going to source anybody. But it was basically like, I love how Arnold Schwarzenegger was just in all these movies in the 90s and 80s. And nobody ever talked about the fact that he has like a super thick Austrian accent. Like it's never a part of his plot. Yeah. He's always playing like some Midwestern dad. He's like completely Austrian. Like, why is that not part of his backstory at all?
Kindergarten Cop.
Jingle All the Way.
Junior.
Yeah, Junior. Exactly. It's like,
Twins.
why? Yeah. And they're all, it's all him as a dad. I don't know. Anyway, that's a good one. Okay. Here, let's go with this one.
Give me an easy one.
I'll give you an easy one. I think. Commodus is the cat. Commodus.
Oh.
Is it Gladiator?
It is Gladiator.
Maximus.
Decimus, Aurelius.
There it is.
Good job, Brandon.
Good job, guys. You get doubles for that. You guys both got it. All right. Next one, Kirk.
This is my last one.
Okay.
I think this is my fifth one.
Yeah, I've got one left as well.
I don't know how well this is going to go. Good luck.
Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go.
The mouse. And I'll take just a first name of a character.
Okay.
I don't even know if we get a last name from this character. The mouse is Sidney Prescott.
Sidney Prescott?
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh.
Well, what's...
This is the mouse?
She is the mouse.
So is it just Scream?
But that character was called something.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. What's the character's name?
He has a name.
It's
I'll take a first name only.
Does it have a first and a last name?
He probably does. He was the lead killer in this film. If it helps, if you need a hint.
I'm not going to get it. I know it's the big twist ending, you know.
We heard these names. It was one of the twins' names in WandaVision. You have 50-50 shot.
Billy.
That is correct.
Counts. Count it. Scream. I love Scream. I would never know that. All right, I've got one more.
Okay.
This one could be easy. I don't know. I can't decide if I should go with the cat or the mouse. I think I'm going to go with the
You're a big mouse guy. So
I have been going mouse. I think I'm going to go cat. I think it's slightly easier if I give cat, but you guys tell me. The cat is Ivan Drago. Ivan Drago. Oh. Brandon's got it.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Is it Rocky?
Yep, Rocky Balboa. My softball was Lex Luthor, but I mean that's like the softest of softballs.
That's soft. All
right, that's why I didn't give it. I didn't want to insult your intelligence. I figured better to answer a bunch of them wrong than to answer correctly on Lex Luthor Superman. You know, like
right. That's hey, Fox weak. Pixar Media. Clearly, we are not very good at this game. So you had some big stumpers out there. I'm sure they were good.
Oh, Twister. When was the last time? I mean, Here's my Twister story. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
I was the baby of the family. Any of you guys the baby of the family? Yeah, Kirk is.
Out of 2.
Out of 2. Yeah, Kirk 2, right?
Yep.
I was the baby out of family out of 3. When you're the baby, what happens is your parents get lazy about what movies they put on, and they don't really consider if it's age appropriate for you. When your oldest sister is 9 years older than you, and your next oldest sister is 5 years older than you, I watched Twister at 4 years old. It scarred me for life. It did. Until I was like, I don't know, what age can I give that's not? I think probably till I was 12, I was scared of storms. Legit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's one parenting mistake, and my parents are fantastic. They did an amazing job. I am already a way worse parent than they were, but that one, that's a black mark on their record. Showing me Twister at 4, that just like...
That's so funny. I was just talking about Twister just a couple days ago. You know how they dropped all those like little tracking balls like on the screen? They just took it off and they kind of made a 3D model of the tornado.
Yeah.
Yep. They're actually doing something for the Mississippi River in a program that I'm actually a part of. They're dropping I think it's 20 or 30 trackers in bottles at in St. Paul.
Minnesota.
And they're just gonna let them flow down the river and figure out where all the plastic waste and everything else in the Mississippi River is actually ending up. So
that's cool.
It was really interesting. The first thing my mind went to was Twister and those striking balls that went around the tornadoes.
They're way ahead of their time.
Yeah, amazing.
That is awesome. Well, that's our game, Cat and Mouse. That game was like every game we play. They're always harder than they seem. But that's what makes it fun. It's always fun. And I think a little added pressure this time knowing that we were live. So
no edits.
No edits, that's right. No givesies backsies, as we like to say. It's been a fun time. Like I said, and I cannot stress you enough, we have a lot of exciting things coming. We're super excited to have Brandon. Brandon's going to be popping in on this show. We're going to be doing some video content with Brandon. He's going to be helping us produce this show. We got lots of good stuff going on there. So glad to have Brandon. We are, if you found this stream, awesome, because we did not advertise it at all. We were just trying to do a test. So thank you, Fox Pixar Media, for listening in. That was a lot of fun engaging with us there. We'll be doing more of this. We'll be doing live streams for every episode, and then we will also cut this up, put it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, everywhere you can listen to podcasts, as well as YouTube. And you can catch us on, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, popcorn4breakfast.com. If you're listening and don't have access to the screen view, popcorn4breakfast.com. Our website is up to date today. We got all our latest videos, including Spilled Popcorn, our web series that Kirk teased earlier, where we are breaking down currently WandaVision, and we just had the finale this week. We're getting ready to record that one right now. So we are going to talk about WandaVision there. Don't want to miss it. That'll be dropping on Monday, as well as this podcast, for those of you listening. What else? We got exciting things to come. So follow us on Twitter, Facebook. You can find us pretty much anywhere by typing in Popcorn for Breakfast. And anything else, guys? Anything I'm missing?
Contact us if you want a t-shirt. Fox Pixar Media. Man, you're the man of the hour. Thank you so much for chatting with us the whole time.
It's been fun. We're going to be doing more of this, like I said. So want to give a special thanks to our executive producer, Ryan Spriggs. Want to give a special thanks to Brandon, who helped us with this episode and is going to be helping us out a bunch in the future. We're really excited. And as always, our original music is by a band called Rhetoric. Check them out on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen. We're going to play them out now, and we will see you guys next week.
Talk to you then.